How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching. It's Chris here from Inked Beardsman, and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a little bit chilly, but I'm in another cemetery, and if you watch my channel or you subscribe, you know I visited hundreds, if not thousands, of cemeteries, but today is a special one. I want to show you so many names that you would know from the music industry, including the First Lady of Country Music, Tammy Wynette, KT Oslin, JD Sumner, Otis Blackwell, Little Jimmy Dickens, and much more. Now, I always forget to mention, you can follow me on Instagram at Inked Beardsman and hit that subscribe button so we can go on more adventures. I'm currently traveling through 9 states, and I want to take you along and show you all kinds of those sites. But I'm starting right here. This is the Lynn Anderson Rose Garden. Now, you're going to ask me, why is it named that? Well, maybe you're not going to ask me that. But if you do ask me that, I'll tell you. Because Lynn Anderson is also one of the people that are interred here. And her song Rose Garden is what she's best known for. So right here, we're at Woodlawn Cemetery. I'm in the Lynn Anderson Rose Garden, but it's getting really, really cold. So we're going to go inside, and you're going to come with me. Let's go inside the mausoleum and check out where so many well-known music people are interred. What we'll do is we'll talk a little bit about each one. If you know about them, then great. If you don't, maybe you'll learn something. But either way, you'll get to see their final resting place and you'll get to join me. And I want you to come along. So let's go check it out. Alrighty guys, we're gonna go check out some country music legends. Alrighty guys, we're at Woodlawn Cemetery here in Nashville, as I mentioned, and we're going to show you some country music legends. And right here, the first one I'm going to show you is Tammy Wynette. Now, of course, she's known for the song Stand By Your Man. She was known as the First Lady of Country Music. Now, there's a guest book here, and we'll sign that, but there's photos of her. There's a microphone. There's Tammy Wynette. She was actually born in Mississippi. And her name is Virginia Wynette Pugh. She had been married 5 times. She had been married 5 times during her life. And the last was to her manager, George Ritchie, for 20 years, right up until her death. Oh, look at the frame that says Mum. You know, these are such icons of country music, you almost forget that they're real people. They have families. Now, she died at her home in Nashville from a blood clot in her lung, and she was only 55 years old. Now, interestingly, a year after her death, her daughters filed a wrongful death lawsuit against her doctor and her husband, claiming they were responsible, and her body was exhumed in an attempt to determine how she really died. After a new autopsy was conducted, the coroner ruled that she died of cardiac arrhythmia. Now, out of all the women of country music, she is ranked number 2. Look at that. Tammy Wynette, George Jones, Loving You.
family photos. Now, I had just said that she was ranked number 2 of the greatest country women of all time. Who do you think's ranked number 1? Do you know? Patsy Cline. She's ranked number 1. But Tammy Wynette is ranked number 2. The first lady of country music. Right there. Alrighty guys, we don't have to look far to show you another singer-songwriter, well known, who's interred right here. Katie Oslin. Do you remember Katie Oslin? Well, she actually died just after the COVID-19 pandemic here in Tennessee. But she's interred right here. There's Katie Oslin. Now, she was, of course, an American country music award-winning singer-songwriter, first female songwriter to receive the Country Music Association Song of the Year for her 1987 hit, 80s Ladies. She was inducted into the Texas Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2014 and the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2018. Now, in June of 2015, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's and subsequently moved into an assisted living facility. But, as I mentioned, it was on December 21st, 2020 in Nashville, right after being diagnosed with COVID-19, that she passed away at 78 years old. There's hers, and there's Tammy Wynette. Alrighty, and another country singer right over here, definitely known for her song Rose Garden. And right outside, there's Lynn Anderson's Rose Garden. Well, she's right here. There's country music singer, superstar Lynn Anderson. There's her guest book. And Glenn Sutton. But she's interred right there. Now, everybody probably remembers that song Rose Garden. But she was internationally known, named Female Vocalist of the Year by the Academy of Country Music and Female Vocalist of the Year by the Country Music Association. Now, did you know that CMT, out of the 100 greatest country songs of all time, ranks Rose Garden at number 83? So her song ranks in the top 100 of all country songs. And she's interred right there. Liz and Casey Anderson. And there's Lynn Anderson. And another singer-songwriter, well known, is actually interred right across from her. Right there, Van Stephenson. He passed away in April of 2001. But he's an American singer and songwriter. He actually had 3 Hot 100 hits in the 80s as the solo artist. His first chart hit as a songwriter was for Crystal Gayle with his Your Kisses Will in 1979. He went on to write hits for Kenny Rogers, Dan Seals, Janie Fricke, John Anderson. And he actually landed a recording artist of his own. And he released his first solo album, China Girl, in 1981. He scored big on the Billboard charts with Modern Day Delilah. Then he had a second hit with What the Big Girls Do. So imagine in this one area, you have Tammy Wynette, Katie Oslin, You have Lynn Anderson. You have Van Stephenson. Just in this one little area. But we're going to keep walking down. Alrighty guys, we're just around the corner. Do you remember the name Otis Blackwell? Now, he wrote so many great songs. Like you think Great Balls of Fire. His songs have sold over 185 million copies. He wrote songs for Elvis Presley. He wrote a lot of good songs. He's right here. Otis Blackwell. Right there. He wrote All Shook Up. Don't Be Cruel, Return to Sender. Of course, like I mentioned, Great Balls of Fire. So many. They even say that Elvis Presley took his style after Otis. But there's where he's interred, right here. Otis Blackwell. Alrighty guys, I know I keep saying this, but it's... Alrighty guys, I know I keep saying this, but it's hard to imagine that there's so many huge names in the music industry, all in this one little area. It's incredible to think. But there's Otis Blackwell. No, Otis died of a heart attack in 2002 in Nashville, Tennessee. He was actually paralyzed by a stroke in 1991. And 3 years later, Brace Yourself, a tribute to Otis Blackwell, containing 15 songs written by him, was recorded by the likes of Chris Christopherson, Debbie Harry, Ronnie Spector, Graham Parker, and it was released. But there's where Otis Blackwell. As soon as we walk out of where Otis Blackwell is, there's another name that I recognize right away. Right away. You recognize that name? Ernie Ashworth. Right there. He was a country music artist, and in 1964 he joined the cast of the Grand Ole Opry, where he remained as a regular performer until his death. He was inducted into the Alabama Music Hall of Fame in '92, and on March 2nd, 2009 he died right here in Nashville at the age of 80. He had undergone bypass surgery prior to his death. Now, we were just at the Grand Ole Opry, and I'm doing a separate vlog on the Grand Ole Opry and the backstage behind the scenes there. But he was a member of the Grand Ole Opry for so many years. Ernie Ashworth. Alrighty guys, let's keep walking because there's another one literally 5 feet from me. Gordon Stoker. Okay, so does the name Gordon Stoker mean anything to you? If not, I'll tell you a little bit about him. But what if I said it had an Elvis Presley connection? Well, it does. See, he was the lead tenor in the Jordanaires, and they backed Elvis Presley. He died in Brentwood, Tennessee, and he was 88 years old. He joined the Jordanaires in 1950. They caught the attention of Presley in the 1950s when they performed with Eddie Arnold at the Grand Ole Opry. When Presley burst onto national scene in 1956 on Steve Allen's TV show, Stoker and the Jordanaires were with him. He was with Elvis Presley when everything exploded. But he's right there. He's interred right there. Let's keep going down the hallway, guys. Now, another face of the Grand Ole Opry and well-known country singer right here in front of me. Little Jimmy Dickens. There's Mona. December 24th, 1971. He was born in December of 1920. Now, he's obviously best remembered for his small stature. he was only 4'11", but his biggest single hit, May the Bird of Paradise Fly Up Your Nose, reached number 1. He was the oldest of 13 children. Now, just today, we were looking at his dressing room at the Grand Ole Opry. And he's interred right here. Now, in 1948, he joined the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, and in 1964, he became the first country music entertainer to circle the globe in a world tour. In 1983, he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. He died of cardiac arrest at the age of 94, and at the time of his death, he was the oldest living member of the Grand Ole Opry. Alrighty, do you know who Lily Tomlin is? Not country music, but the actress? There's Guy Tomlin and Lily Mae Tomlin. That's her parents, right there. Celebrating the lives of Lily Mae and Guy Tomlin. How about another country music star? Another country music star. Okay, I'll show you another one. Right here beside us. Check that out. Dottie Rambo. She was a gospel singer-songwriter. She's credited with up to 2,500 songs that she wrote and co-wrote. She was awarded the Grammy in 1969 for her album, It's the Soul of Me. Now, it's actually really sad how she passed away. She died in a tour bus accident when she was en route to a Mother's Day performance in Texas. Alrighty, so I've already showed you a number of country stars that are interred right here in this mausoleum. Now we're going to go down the hallway and do a few more. Alrighty guys, another country star. You might not know him from the name that's on his crypt, but you'll know the name. Jerry Hubbard. Do you know who that is? Well, that's Jerry Reed. Now, of course, he was born Jerry Hubbard, but he was known as Jerry Reed. He was a singer, guitarist, composer, songwriter. But he had so many good songs. When you think about it, Guitar Man, A Thing Called Love, Alabama Wild Man, When You're Hot, You're Hot. Now that garnered him a Grammy. Eastbound and Down. And of course, as an actor, Smokey and the Bandit. Now Reed had the best showing on the country chart with his self-penned Guitar Man, which Elvis Presley soon covered. But he's had so many hits over the years. He co-starred in all 3 of the Smokey and the Bandits films. He appeared in the 1978's Highballin', 1979's Hot Stuff. Now, Reed had been a heavy smoker for many years. And he died in Nashville on September 1st, 2008 of complications from emphysema at the age of 71. And a week later, during their debut at the Grand Ole Opry, Canadian country rock group The Roadhammers performed Eastbound and Down as a tribute to Jerry. There, alrighty guys, we're going to keep walking down this hallway in this mausoleum. And as we walk through the mausoleum, there's going to be another name that you recognize that I'm going to show you. J.D. Sumner. J.D. Sumner and Rick Strickland. Now, he was a gospel singer-songwriter. He sang with Elvis Presley as backup along with the Sunshine Boys, the Blackwood Quartet, and J.D. Sumner and the Stamps. Now, he actually won a Grammy, a spot in the GMA Hall of Fame, the Guinness Book of World Records for the lowest bass voice.
Hearts are asleep in the deep, so beware.
He met a young Elvis Presley when he was singing with the Blackwood Brothers, and the two formed a strong relationship. He died while on tour with the Stamps Quartet. And that's looking outside at the cemeteries. Now, did I tell you I was going to show you some names in the entertainment industry today? Tammy Wynette, Otis Blackwell, J.D. Sumner, K.T. Oslin, little Jimmy Dickens. So many. But they're all buried right here in this mausoleum. And I'm so glad that you guys came with me to Nashville today to pay our respects. And I was able to show you where these graves were. Now, I'm currently traveling through 9 states, and I want to take you with me on more adventures. So hit that subscribe button below. Let's go on more adventures. I always like to say life is like a book, and I want to read it with you. Until next time, guys, from Woodlawn Cemetery here in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Chris from Beardsman. I appreciate you. Peace.